but also to help those other kids who are not as lucky as I was. So that is how this idea came up. And then I was very lucky to meet a group of people who also believed in what education can do to people. And that's how, when we met, like Basil mentioned, we constituted a board. We were also very lucky to get assistance from a group of attorneys from Reed Smith to work on our legal setup. And that's how we got incorporated in 2008. Our main goals are initially at this point to offer school scholarships. Elementary school, middle school in Kenya is free, but high school is not. And so very many kids, while they can go to school for the initial years, they simply cannot proceed to high school. Besides that, we'd like these kids also to get an opportunity to participate in community service. We want them to get a mentorship so that they grow up, at least knowing that they are responsible to community. And then ultimately, our ultimate goal is to be able to build a school in which then you can control, for instance, the quality of teaching. You can control the number of students in a classroom and many other aspects. In which case, you are sure kids going through that school have a high chance of succeeding in school. From those goals, we currently have the following programs. So we have the scholarships. We would like to also assist the existing schools, with a little infrastructural support, for instance, classrooms which don't have facilities like desks and lockers, etc. Mentorship and the community service program, and finally the building of the schools, which we hope will follow. Now, what I'm going to do is very quickly show you a few of the facilities available in those schools, just to give you an idea of the kind of area we are talking about and what there is. This school here is very dear to me because this is where I went to high school. I left this school 20 plus years ago, but when I go back, very little has changed. And that really pains me because over all those years, one would think that really a lot has changed. So this is where we used to do all our washing. That is what we would call our bathrooms. But since this is a school of 400 plus kids, it's not very easy to expect 400 of them to take a shower in those little structures. And so, obviously, you have to be, students have to be creative. So this is where they go to take their showers in a river, in a stream, actually, it's a little stream nearby the school, which happens to be close to my farm, my property. And so since I know the trouble they went through, I find it very difficult to tell them they're trespassing. I did it myself. So what do I expect from them? So these are the places where they go to take their baths, because what they have in school is definitely not enough to take care of them. Now this is a different school, but this school also has 408 to be precise, boys and girls, a boarding school, so they live and study there. This is their kitchen. This is where food for those 400 plus students is prepared. Well, another angle of now this is inside the kitchen, so obviously you can see the kind of hygiene, if any, is there. These are the cooks who prepare food for those kids. Okay. This is a library for that school with 408 students. Basically, the library is a room. The first one side is the entrance, then the two walls. That is where the books are. And as you can see, there are mainly multiple copies of a single text. But that is the library. And that's what they know as a library. This is the other wall of the library. That is the laboratory. So you look at this kind of laboratory and expect this student here to do an examination with the kids who went to better equipped schools. Some of us from Kenya know, like Starehe Alliance. Obviously, these kids are already disadvantaged. They can't match what the others can do. These are the toilets for the same school. This is their classroom. This is a high school. This is a high school classroom. And so there are many, in most schools, the situation is similar. In most schools, especially in rural areas of such a community. Then in the mentorship program, very briefly, what we want is that the students that we have, we want them to grow with a sense of community responsibility. So in August, when they came home for their holidays, we just organized for them to meet with our committee back in Kuria, at least to begin to learn about the foundation, the value of this scholarship so that they can take it seriously. And we are preparing them so that next time they come home, we have now told them they need to do community service. So in August, we expect them to be involved in community service activities in the community. Because community service is something that it's a concept that is not in Kenyan schools. So at least we wanted them to be prepared to know why we think it's important. Currently, the program that we have done some work on is that of scholarships, and we have 6 students, 3 boys and 3 girls. They go to different schools. We also have 2 students who go to Daraja Academy, the other school which was mentioned, and it's in a different part of Kenya. And so they have scholarships from Daraja Academy. What we do is pay for their transportation to and from that school. So basically we are dealing with a total of 8 students. We really are asking for assistance in making sure that we can be able to see these particular students through the 4 years high school cycle, and so that we can be able to include the other students in the program next year. We know that times are very difficult, but again, we know that whatever we have started doing has the potential to really impact very many young lives. Obviously, it's a very big problem. It's a problem that LMEF cannot solve, even in Korea itself, in a short while. But we are convinced that one child at a time, the few we can impact, we shall, on our part, have played a role. Somebody else will play a role, and the number of kids with the ability to go to school will increase. Our current budget is the target for this year, our fundraising target for this year, and there is a more detailed document there which indicates the breakdown of exactly how the scholarships money, for instance, is being spent, when and where. So these are the 3 main projects that we are raising funds to be involved in, and so far we have raised 4,000. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of a balance, and so to us, after today, we are still on. The process is on, and by the end of the year, we shall update you on what we shall have been able to do and what remains for us to do. Probably to just finish off, what I mentioned is that I was lucky, like I mentioned, when I cried, an opportunity was given to me, and I went to school. There are very many kids out there who are crying, probably not in the same way that I cried, in different ways, who are yearning for an opportunity to go to school, but who are not able to do so. So all we do is ask you please to join us, talk to your friends about what we are doing. Anybody you know who has an interest in education, especially in the developed world, give us feedback on what we are doing, and we shall be very, very grateful. Thank you so much.